And I'm here with Chris Crear from Heila Technologies, which has been bought by Kohler, one of the biggest names in the water space. Tell us about Heila.
So Heila Technologies, we make a system that is a control and optimization system for microgrids. So, the primary focus there is for customers who are looking for resiliency, as we see that our grid system that we have is aging and infrastructure is a problem. So for us, the connection to water is really, you have all these massive facilities around the country that are providing safe, clean drinking water for families and pets, all the infrastructure that we have. And so for us, what we can do is make sure that when there are resiliency issues, be it hurricanes or other natural disasters, the system that we make can make sure that those water facilities are still up and running and can sustain throughout those natural disasters that we experience. And so people can continue to get, good, fresh, clean drinking water and for, agricultural purposes.
So, we were just getting through Hurricane Ian that devastated Florida. We've had many big hurricanes in this area. We're in New Orleans now. There was Katrina, there was Harvey in Houston, where, the flooding came so fast. There were water utilities where the operators were essentially trapped in their facilities and still proceeding to make sure that we had water and wastewater for the facilities, as well as dealing with all the drainage of all that flooding. So how important, and then of course with COVID, we had facilities where people could not have more than one or two people in their facility at a time. How important was it for those who have digital technology and not having to have people in there on site, operating their systems by hand? What does that do when disasters strike, that we have these digital capabilities?
Well, so one of the amazing things is while we have the digital capabilities, then you have people who are at safe operating distances from the actual disaster, and then we can monitor real time what's going on. We had a situation in Florida that was real time where we were watching one of the microgrids that we control that stayed up during this last hurricane. So, it was, just sort of a testament to the technology that we have, and a testament to, that we're doing the right thing the right way, because once we're generating there on site, the other thing is that it is more sustainable because we're not using, all of the brown power resources. We're local there at the facility where we're generating, and we're able to keep people up and running during these, trying times, whenever they should be dealing with more important things than whether or not their power is still on.
Absolutely. We one of our first stories was about smart farmers using smartphones for smart water, and a lot of these rural communities where you have to drive miles and miles and miles to get to your different facilities and do inspections and everything. And there is that mythology that, these old water professionals, they're too old to do digital, and then you start talking to folks, well, we got a GPS on the wellhead of the back 40, and that tells us, how important is it to recognize that smart water is for everybody of every generation?
It's extremely important, and I think what you have now is you've got this convergence of technology with these old world problems that are still there today. And so now, because information is democratized, so we can connect these people in rural communities to these new technologies, and the price of these technologies is a lot less than what it was in years past, so it's all affordable. And so we deploy our system. For instance, we can deploy our system remotely. So we ship our system. There are engineers that are on site that can do the install, but we can commission the system actually remotely. And so I think whenever you take it back to these rural farmers, being able to take advantage of the Internet of Things, and all these devices are connected and have connectivity, not only can the farmers have devices that can meet a need, they can also get help real time whenever they're having issues with the devices, because we can all monitor these devices, remotely.
Now, one other issue that's really come up, with all the new money that's coming into water, with the $1 trillion in infrastructure, including $55 billion in water infrastructure, is around water equity and recognizing that many of the facilities that haven't gotten the upgrades, the infrastructure care, have been Black communities, have been communities of color that now have those resources, especially with executive order, the environmental justice EJ 40, saying that 40% of this money is supposed to address underserved communities. How can this be helpful for communities that for a long time have not had these upgrades to now get the smart systems that they need to run their facilities as well?
Well, I think, in general, we typically have inequities based on economics. And so what I think happens is whenever you have, a recognition that water is really a right, it's not a privilege. And so people should have safe, clean drinking water so that they can sustain. And so I think that it is extremely important that money flows in, and then you have technology companies that can also take that money and put it to good use so that we can provide safe, clean drinking water and water for all communities.
Fantastic. Well, Chris Crear, thank you so much for being here with Kohler subsidiary Heila Technologies, and best of luck at WEFTEC. Have a good conference.
Thank you.